But I don't think that justice for George Floyd is just Derek Chauvin being convicted. Justice, if we use the definition of justice to mean the balancing of the scales, if you've ever seen the statue of the scales being held, well, when George Floyd was murdered in the most brutal way imaginable, those scales were horribly tilted. Convicting Derek Chauvin, it's accountability, but I don't know that it's justice. It doesn't make the scales even. In fact, I don't know. One of my good friends was best friends with George Floyd. They were like brothers. And I know if Derek Chauvin is convicted, those scales aren't even for him. Like they would rather George Floyd be alive. And so say Derek Chauvin is convicted, it might, forgive my crude illustration, it might bring it slightly closer, but it doesn't balance it. Say all the officers are convicted. That it's accountability, but it still doesn't balance it. There's a civil settlement, still doesn't balance it. I think what we're finding is that what happens to someone like George Floyd is so devastating, not just to him, but to his family, to the community, to the nation, that balancing those scales is a lot more than convicting this man. Convict the man, hold him accountable. But justice is a lot more than that. Justice looks more like changing the whole system to prevent anybody like George, anything like what happened to George Floyd from ever happening again. Justice looks like a completely new definition of public safety. Justice looks like a radical reimagining of city and county budgets that prioritize education and health and other things above the police state and mass incarceration. So yes, we want justice, and a part of the process of justice will be holding this man accountable. And if he's held accountable, that's a historic victory. But I know these families well enough to know that there's nothing that you could ever give them that would ever fill the void that's been caused here.